Um, all great answers, guys. There's not so many reasons. There's not one right or wrong answer. I mean, you're here. Uh, if we don't manage money, we'll manage you. Absolutely, Gail. Aaron May, I prayed and prayed to see what I should do with my life, and I landed here. Outstanding, man. And all great answers. And the truth is that's for you to define. There's no right or wrong answer here, and I think it's important that you guys realize that every one of us are here for different reasons. Not everybody here is for the same reason, and this is why it's important. What I'm going to share with you, that you always create space. You always, make sure that when you are working with people or encouraging people or inviting people to look at this as an opportunity, that you don't try to, in a sense, convert your reason why you're doing this as to why they should be doing it. Everybody's here for their own journey and for their own, for their own growth. I'm going to go into sharing you a slide. Some of you have seen this slide before. And it's one of my favorite reasons. It's why I'm here. And I see some teammates that are really going through this right now in a great way, guys. And this is why I'm here, and it's identity. It's the biggest thing that I feel that we could offer you here is a sense of your own individuality, your own empowerment, that you mean something, that you're more than just, if you're a mom, you're more than just a mom. If you're, whatever you do for work, whatever your day job is, whether you're a chef, whether you work in IT, whether you're in the military, whatever you're more than that. You're way more than that. And I never went into this business thinking that what I would find was more. No one talked to me about this when I first came on board. No one told me, hey, this is about who you're becoming, not what you're getting, because, I came into the industry and there was a lot of practicality thrown at me. You're going to learn about money. You're going to learn about investments. You're going to learn about tax advantages, all great stuff. Don't get me wrong. This is how we, this is how we convert ideas into money, by sharing these valuable ideas, with our friends, family members, people out there who are trying to change their life. But what I'm talking about, why I believe difference is going to be such an amazing thing for you, is because of who you get to become here. And that's worth its weight in gold. I think, to me, that's priceless. There's not an amount of commission, there's not an amount of money, and it doesn't matter, how great you're doing financially here. At the end of the day, you're a human being, and you're a real person, and we want you to be as authentic as possible so that you can go out and be there for other people, right? And the best thing that you can give to other people is an opportunity for them to get to know who they are, to learn themselves. And this is my favorite part of what we do. It took me years to understand this, so if I'm sounding like I'm speaking on the soapbox here, I don't want, it's not what it is. It's really about, the person you are right now, Lisa, Gail, Isaac, including myself, is not the person that you're going to be even 3 months from now or a year from now, right? This is about who you're becoming. And I love this about this business so much, and I can look at all of you here with just a sense of love, a sense of just great satisfaction. I saw on Facebook, Jennifer and Gail, kind of one of those friend anniversaries, when you've been friends with someone for a while, and it made me reflect on Jen, and Jen is someone that Isaac and I talk about quite often, by the way, and in a very good way, and I remember when I first met Jen, and just to who this person is now, it's amazing, and how much this person has grown, and how much she's going to continue to grow. Natalie, I was talking to Natalie the other day, and Natalie, we started working about 6 months. I think it was about 6 months ago together. And I've only met Natalie physically face to face once, which was at our last big event. But yet I have such an affinity and a relationship with this person that we built over technology, phone calls over 6 months. And I see that she's not the same person. I'm like, who is this person that she's becoming? And I got to tell you, that's probably there is no amount of money. I mean, I've had some great months, but I've never earned any amount of money that has given me that sense of satisfaction. Like, wow, to see the transformation that people go into. Aaron May, Aaron's another one, man. Aaron, who's now getting results on his own, doing his own appointments. He's got a few closes coming through this month, and just to see who this dude's becoming, man, it's phenomenal. And he's raising a son. His son followed him here in business, and all of you have a story. All of you, Lisa, I'm getting to know Lisa, even though I know Lisa for years, but we never really knew each other. And so we're getting to know each other in a whole new way. And I just love the grit and the drive that this person has. And Gail and I just closed the big sale this week. And as I look at Gail, I mean, holy cow! I mean, Gail and I have been working together 5 years in difference. And one thing that Gail and I are really good at is when we team up on a client, man, we are like, we're unstoppable. I will say when we are working, in sync together with the client, I don't think there's a deal that we've ever lost, to be honest with you. We really know how to pour it on thick. We know how to create valuable experience. And I gotta say, man, like, talking with Gail yesterday, I see this person that she's become and how she's grown so much and the way that she's reflecting. And so I woke up really early this morning. I went for a run and I was just taking the time to reflect myself. And I was like, wow, just the fact that I got to reflect. But I look at this business, I'm like, what I love about this is that this is about, at the end of the day, who you're becoming. And you look at these things here, you develop your emotional intelligence here. You're going to learn a lot about self-confidence here, because this is the number one struggle with human beings that I've seen, including myself. In this business, we have an epidemic in this country, in the world, of low self-esteem, of people that don't believe in themselves. When you look at the human condition, we are so wired to see our inadequacies, our flaws. I mean, we can tell each other, and we say it to ourselves often, what we suck at, what we're not good at. We know that so well about ourselves. But when it comes to what are we good at, believing in ourselves, actually being able to see our own value, that takes some work. And it's not a natural thing that people can resort to. It took a while for me to learn that here. And I'm just like many of you, and so that's something that you're going to get here. And the way it manifests, fortunately and unfortunately, in our business, let me stop sharing here with you for a second. The way that it manifests in our business is struggle. Whatever our flaws are, whether you have a big ego, short temper, impatience, whatever you struggle with, unforgiveness for others or yourself, whatever it is that you struggle with in your life, it will be experienced in this business. You will be exposed. And what, I had an addiction to wanting everyone to like me. And if someone didn't like me, if someone said, I don't like Karlo, I don't trust Karlo, it was like devastating for me. Right. I remember how and it made me think about, man, why do I struggle with that so much? Where I had to really go back into my childhood and really heal from that. Like where along my path where I create that for myself. And I had to get, and thankful to this industry and the experiences that I get from this industry and dealing with human beings, I learned how to deal with that. And I am thankful, I am thankful to this industry that it gave me that opportunity to grow. So I'm telling you that as I start this morning, before we get into it here, that a lot of things that you're going to experience as you build this are going to come in the moment as failure, embarrassment. You're going to screw up an appointment. Someone's going to say something about you that you don't like, and I used to talk, I was telling Gail this. I remember when I was coming up, Dog was my friend, and there was things about him and his leadership style that I would criticize. Like, I don't like this and I don't like that. And why do you do this? And why do you do that? And yet I wasn't a leader yet, but he was the one. So it's funny, when you're a leader, you're very open, as you're an open target. There's going to be there's going to be things said to you or about you that people are not going to like. And you may hear about them, you may not, you know? And so when I was, it made me, it humbled me to know, like, I remember when I would pick apart things about Doggo, and then come full circle when I started building an organization that people would say about me. And I would be like, interesting, right? And so that whole saying is that when you point a finger, what ends up happening is three fingers start pointing back at you. So it made me empathize a lot with the people. I started, be patient, be patient with yourself and be patient with other people. As the question goes, how well do you handle people who maybe don't handle themselves too well? And how well do you deal with people, like, when, to forgive, to a lot of your teammates, you'll see your teammates will really test your patience. Holy shit. Let me say that with a capital HS. But if you come from a place of love, right? And some of you are laughing because some of these gray hairs were from some of y'all, right? But that's the way the game goes, guys. It helps you, become more patient with people. It helps you accept people for who they are, not for who they should be. And being able to work with people, and that you may not, if it wasn't for this business, you probably wouldn't be hanging out with them, to be honest with you, because maybe you guys have different ways of, whatever beliefs, whatever it is, but something brought us together here. And learning to work with people who you probably would never work with is by far one of the greatest strategies, skills, gifts that I think you can learn here. I remember going to a Tony Robbins event, and he said something so profound that I had to meditate on it for like, wow, that's so true. He's like, people that say, he said this, people say they're really good with people. They're like, oh, I'm really good with people. He's like, but the truth is, most people, when they say that, they're only good with people who are like them. And I'm like, that's so true. At least it was true for me. It's easy to connect with people who share your values and your beliefs, right? It's kind of a safe place when, like, oh, you believe what I believe. Okay, well, but what about when you are around people who don't share those things? But you have to create a connection. And some of these are going to be your clients. Some of these people are going to be your teammates. And the true test of a leader is, are you willing to meet people where they're at to understand them? Or are you someone that, no, before I understand someone else, they better flip and understand me first? That's ego. So you got to learn to, you got to be patient with people. And why I started off with this slide today again is because all of this stuff is the things that, in my opinion, truly, really matter. Right? That's what really, really matters here. Your self-confidence, your emotions, the way you view you, the way you feel about you. And I just felt it in my heart, as I took the time this morning to really think about and reflect. I'm like, wow, I'm so, so grateful that I get to do something that I absolutely enjoy to the core of my being. And it's not about the sales, guys, even though I love making them. And it's not about the money, even though I love making it. But that's not why I get up. That's not why I do it. It's about how much juice can I extract from this game called life, and how can I use difference as a catalyst to suck as much juice out of life as possible, as much personal experience. And you get all that here, man. And so I just want you guys to know that you're at the right place at the right time. And it's not enough to be at the right place at the right time, though. You have to be the right person at the right place at the right time. And if you're going to be here, I want you to be someone that can embrace these challenges that you're about to undergo, right? Whether it's rejection, whether it's being ridiculed, whether it's people talking smack about you. You're going to have people that you thought would support you may not support you. And when you don't get what you want from people, it can be a very, terrifying new world for you. You're like, whoa, this is not what I expected. I did not think it was going to be this challenging. Welcome to the game, my friend. It's going to be very challenging. But you have to go through that and embrace that and learn from that and overcome that for you to get to where you're going. Sounds, I know it sounds very airy fairy. I know maybe this sounds a little bit Pollyanna, but it's what I'm telling you, right? It is this game. And once you kind of go through the gauntlet of this, you see. So embrace the, I like it, embrace the suck. I love that, right? It's such a great, I learned that from the Marine Corps. Embrace the suck and find happiness within it. So that's my little 2 cents on that. What I want to share with you guys today, where are we at here, is I think I haven't done the ABCs of money for quite some time. But it's important that you will realize, okay, what it is that we offer, like what the most valuable thing that we offer and what separates us from anybody else is in the way that we offer it. A lot of other companies out there just want to recruit you, go recruit more people. It becomes very multi-level, and that's their prerogative. I'm not trying to judge that. It's just something that did not appeal to me. I started in that world with World Financial Group. I wanted to get to a place where I felt we can teach a valuable trade to people and they could exercise that trade. And that would make you very competitive in the marketplace because you're offering something very tangible value, which is your knowledge coupled with your development, your leadership. That's a valuable gift in this day and age. You have something to offer when you offer companionship and your ability to listen and understand and human nature coupled with technical skill. Let me teach you how taxes work, how investments work, how lifetime income works, how to protect your money, how to shelter your money. Valuable things here. So those are the things that we really want to focus on here, guys. So this is why the ABCs of money are important. So we first start off with psychology. Can all of you guys see the slide clearly? Because sometimes I think the camera gets in the way and you guys can, I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing, but can you see the whole slide clearly? Let me know if it's blocked off. Yep, everyone sees it good. So we've seen this before. If you have not read the book, The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, I highly recommend you read that book. And when we give book recommendations, it's not because we're trying to assign homework here. It's because we want you, right, to go out there and experience the truth for yourself. Not just, don't believe a word I say. Don't take what I say at face value and be like, well, Karlo said it, so it must be true. What I'm telling you is my own experience. And when other people were telling me this, I had to go do my own research and come to my own truths through my own knowledge and experience. And so I read the books and I was able to get certain valuable lessons. So I hope that if all you're taking from these trainings that you've been here for a while, and you're like, well, everything I've learned from difference is because what Karlo or Dago or Isaac have said, so therefore it must be true. Please don't put us in that pedestal, right? I'm telling you, right? That's a recipe for failure if you're doing it that way. I just want to encourage you to go do your own research. And as you learn these things, I think you'll have some massive breakthroughs based on your own life experience, that what you share with people. And the cash flow quadrant is by far one of the most, like, when I first learned, when I really first understood this, I was like, wow, do people really know this? Are people really aware of this? Like, it was like, where have I been all my life? It's, when I first understood this, I was maybe 27 years old. I had been in the business 2 years, and I finally read the book, Cash Flow Quadrant. And I felt like I had just woken up from a 27-year slumber. I was like, oh my God, like, I need to wake the hell up. That's how hard it hit me, And so this is why, if you've been around trainings that I'm speaking quite often, you're like, well, here goes Karlo again. I like to be repetitious with certain concepts because I think it's important that they become ingrained in your subconscious. And so you understand, like, you start to see things for what they are. You kind of start unplugging from the matrix when you're out there. You're like, whoa, I see this. And we're living in a world, right? Look at the E quadrant. And this is not a judgment. I know some of you are hardworking employees, and you have great jobs, and you get meaning from those jobs. But all I'm trying to tell you is that that's not the end of the road for you, right? That is just one aspect of, it's multidimensional, man. That's just one aspect of it. And when you're an employee, we're so wired to, we work hard, no security, no time. And we're living in an era right now, is that where time is very scarce. We are all super, super busy human beings. And we stopped, we don't take the time to smell the coffee. And I think it's because of where this quadrant unfortunately has wired us. We get stuck working hard, working hard. We become a culture that is, we are, we're working hard, right? We're working to, what's the saying goes, is we are living to work instead of working to live. There's a difference, right? I want to show you something. This is a great video. Let me unplug. Hopefully you guys can hear my YouTube video. Let me disconnect. I want to share something I was watching this morning. I was like, ooh, I want to share that. You guys know who this guy is right here, right? Hopefully you can hear this. This is Mr. Rogers. I posted something like this on my Instagram this morning because it kind of goes with the theme of how I'm feeling right now. But listen to what he says. This is valuable. Let me see. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
Need to have some silence. And
let me move you guys here.
A real difference in your life. Who's made a difference in your life? Oh, a lot of people. But a lot of people who have allowed me to have some silence. And I don't think we give that gift very much anymore. I'm very concerned that our society is much more interested in information than wonder, in noise rather than silence. How do we do that? I mean, in our business, yours and mine, how do we encourage reflection? I trust that this book will do some of that, but oh my, this is a noisy world. Why? A lot of this is about self-esteem, believing in yourself.
That's a great, were you guys able to hear that, by the way? Okay, good. So I was hearing that, and man, it just hit me like, wow. And how this connects to business is very important, guys, right? Let me get back on my ear pods here. It's deep, right? I like it. It's deep. But what I am so grateful for, the biggest gift that I feel that being an entrepreneur gives you is your ability to manipulate time. That is profound. And to be able to take time and say, I'm going to start my day and live life and on my terms versus what everyone else wants me to do. When you can get to that point, man, you realize how valuable and precious a moment is, a second is, a minute is. And when I heard that from Mr. Rogers, man, and if you can watch the documentary of his life, it's a phenomenal story. He's an amazing human being. But I love how that was the premise of that show with Charlie Rose, right? It's just like he said, man, it's silence, it's being able to have moments of silence, because if you look around us right now, there's just noise, but we don't take the time to really reflect and ponder and contemplate our life. So income's like an opportunity like difference, where you can make money and you can control time, so that I hope as you start to do better financially, you take more time for yourself. Because in the world we live right now, that's such a rare thing, to go and just have time for yourself. Just find Gail's like, where's the link? Just go to YouTube and type in Mr. Rogers, Charlie Rose. I'm sure that'll pop up. Okay, so getting back to the topic of discussion here. Oops. So this is where 98% of people, we see this as the ceiling. We end up getting stuck there, and that's all I knew. I always looked at money as something that, when I said I want to make more money, I always had to calculate how much more time do I have to give in order to make more money. And so we're kind of wired to that as reality. Like, the more time I give, the more money I get. And that's not true, guys. You can free yourself from that paradigm. Some people will move into self-employed. Now, self-employed, there's a lot of great self-employed people. The best examples of that would be realtors, right? People that just sell houses. Say, if you really like the person that does your hair, whether it be man or woman, that's an example of a self-employed person. A barber, a storefront owner from a small mom and pop type business. Those are self-employed people that they own a small business, and that's phenomenal. Now, in terms of time, you're able to make more money, but what ends up happening, unfortunately, in the self-employed space is that the business owns you more than you own the business. And if you're not careful, that can also happen in difference, right? You get stuck, right? Oh, I don't want to build a team. I just want to be me. And it's all about me, me, me. And nobody knows it as good as I do. And I'm the best at that, and if you're a control freak, right? So some of you might struggle with control, because I need to put my signature on everything that happens in my business. If you're that kind of person, you're going to get stuck in the S quadrant. And granted, you might be the best at it, but in order for you to make money, you always have to presently be there. And I'm telling you, that's not conducive towards growth. And a lot of people get stuck there. So when you look at the ENS quadrant, look at what it says here. This is 95% of people, of society, however you want to look at it. This is how everybody sees it, but it's only 5% of wealth. What we want to get you to, and what you got to grow into, is really being a true business owner by moving into the business quadrant, into the B quadrant. And that's where passive income lies, right? Well, how do I do that, Karlo? Like, that's the fundamental question, right? And it's what I ask clients and prospects all the time. I meet people that make good money, and whatever good money is to you. I have met people that are employees and they make over $200,000 a year. Now, a lot of that goes to taxes, but that's good money based on society standards. But when I ask them, how's your time? No time. I don't see my family as much. I travel a lot. I'm busy a lot. I'm working 60, 80 hours a week. So you're making good money, but you have no time. Is that freedom? Is that worth it? I don't think so. And then you have the flip side of the coin where I meet people that have a lot of time. Like, man, you know, I have a lot of time right now. And I said, how you doing? Are you able to pay your bills? How's your credit? How's your debt? Out of control. No money, no debt, right? A lot of debt. So that's not good either, to have a lot of time and no money. So the true question is how, this is why we're all here, guys. How do I get time and money together? How can I do that, Carlo? How can I control my time, do what I want, you know, be able to create my own schedule? You know, I want to go to the gym at 10 a.m. when nobody's there, right? How do I do that? Well, you got to get money, man. And you got to get time together. And only the B quadrant is the only way that can happen. And we just happen to have that opportunity here. And you don't need a team of 100,000 people. You don't need even a team of 10. All you need is a team of 3, 4 quality people who want to go somewhere together and build something phenomenal here. And you can build that here. And so you own a system and people work the system, right? We have a system here at Difference. So we want to teach you about that because passive income is a real thing, guys. You know, I'll be honest with you, right? To be very transparent with you, we have maybe 30, 50 people in our team within Yuma here. Out of those 30, 50 people, I would count the most consistent producers on one hand, about 5 of them. And that's reality, right? Now, out of those 5 who they have great contracts and they're growing and doing their business, right? I made a little over $70,000 in 2018 of passive income. That was my Marine Corps salary back in 2013, and how I was working 60 hours a week to support my family on that income. And I made it passively last year. And that was just only building a team of 5 people, right? You know, only 5 people. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that it works. And I am so thankful to a system like this because it gave me time back with my family. It gave me an opportunity to go see my daughters, to take her to piano lessons, to take her to swim practice, to have these moments as a father that are priceless, to have these little 1 to 2 minute moments in the middle of the afternoon that I don't have to be somewhere, that I can give in totality to this human being and pour into her. What's that worth? Priceless. It's priceless. And I want that for you too, you know, but I want you to believe it. And it's okay to go out there and build a business. It's okay to make as much money as you want. No sin against that, guys. Because it's not about the money, it's about the time. And there's no one on this call right now that knows, none of you, not even myself, none of us flipping know how much time we have left on this place. And do I want to give the best hours of my life to an organization, to a corporation? You guys with me? This is what it's all about, guys, right? Then from there, you can learn to be an investor. So let's also be clear about that. What does that mean here? So as you start making money in Difference, some of you see my car. I have a 2011 Mazda 3. I have the credit. I even have the monthly income to go get me another $300, $400, $500 great car payment on a 2019 5 Series BMW. But I don't value that. That's just for me. It just doesn't drive me. Now it may drive you. That's fine. But I don't value that because for me is what drives me more is if I can have an extra $500 to put in my savings, to put in that, which is going to give me more time, I'm going to do that. And I would encourage you to do the same as you start making money here, that you don't change your lifestyle. If you're living out $3,000 a month and you start all of a sudden with Difference in your job, start making $6,000, $10,000 a month, keep living off $3,000 a month. Now that takes a hell of a discipline Because once you go into new money, you're like, oh my God, I have money now. And you want to have status and you want to have appeal and you want everyone to see you as successful. Be careful with your ego. You got to check that sucker. For a long time, I always wanted, I never was driven by cars, but because my surroundings were like, dude, you got to get a nice car, man. You're an entrepreneur. You know, look at Instagram, look at the way that everyone sells it. And and the truth is, I never wanted a nice car, a luxury car. I thought I wanted a nice car because I wanted you guys to see me as successful, because that would make my ego feel secure. It's all bullshit, right? But that was me. Now, if you're someone that really likes cars, like Karlo, but damn, dude, I really like nice cars. I'm like, cool. It's not a judgment. I'm just telling you, for me, it was my journey. But don't go, don't go and spend money you don't have just so you want to look the part. I always say, save that money. So why should I save that money for? Because then you can move into the I quadrant. Case in point, Dago Zuniga, right? So Dago has, Isaac and I were talking to him on speakerphone the other night. He's got a condo that he bought in Puerto Vallarta, right? He got a great deal on it a few years back. He now has it 100% on Airbnb. And I think to this day, I think right now it's September, October, he's like, I work 1 hour a week just doing little things, emailing the customer, emailing the tenants, but it's brought $50,000 of income passively to his bank account. And so what he did, he's like, bro, I hustled in the B quadrant, made money, saved money, and then I took that money and I reinvested it into another passive income business. You with me? That's the game, guys. That's how you build wealth here, right? You're going to work right now. Like when you start working in business, you're going to work your ass off and you're going to be like, Karlo, tell me that this is not the way it's always going to be. And I'm here to tell you that it's not. But sometimes we mistake the current circumstance as indefinite, like this is the way it's always going to be. And it's not, right? I couldn't work as hard as I'm working now for 20 years if I want to still stay married and have and be a good father. But I can deal with that imbalance for 5 to 10 years so I can be free for the next 50. And this is why I keep my lifestyle in check, so that I can have, in case things go wrong, I have cushion, I have a background, right? I have backup. I couldn't do that if I overextend myself, because that's what happens in our society. And you'll see when you guys as advisors, you're going out there and you're sitting with your clients, you'll meet clients that are making 10,000, 20,000 in a month. But when you run their finances and you gather the numbers, they're also spending $10,000 or $20,000 a month. And you're like, whoa, that's not going to work either. So stay where you're at and, think about what are things that you want to invest in. Maybe you want to invest in other businesses. Maybe you want to invest in real estate. This is the pathway to freedom. This is how it works in capitalism. So I'm spending a lot of time on the cash flow quadrant because you see, it's just much more than logic. It's there's an emotional aspect to this too, that we also have to learn within ourselves, is what is keeping me stuck in the current quadrant that I'm in? And what do I need to do within myself to move to the next quadrant? Because it's actually very linear. For you to go from E to B quadrant, it's not conducive. It doesn't make sense. And that's kind of what we try to do at Difference. And I think sometimes when we do it too fast, you see how it can kind of drive people crazy. Going from the E quadrant to the B quadrant is like moving from San Diego to Shanghai, China. It's just a culture shock. It's too much. So we have to gradually move into it. And this is why we tell you in this business, give it a couple years. Elvia Sanchez right now is on fire right now, right? She's doing business, she's closing business, she's building a team. And Elvia, when I was talking to her, she's like, Karlo, she's like, if it wasn't for me putting that money on the lease for the office in Yuma, I probably would have walked away, because it was the one thing that was keeping me there. Because, hey, I'm on the hook for this lease. I got to pay this monthly rent. So and then made me look at myself and said, I have to figure it out. Because Elvia came from funeral sales where she was making $15,000, $20,000 a month. And when she started coming here and doing, she had that expectation, oh, this is going to be easy like that was. And it wasn't. She hit a brick wall. People were rejecting her. She wasn't closing business. And then what started happening, what happens when that happens? Self-doubt creeps in. And she's like, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe this is not the way. So, and we kept telling her, give yourself time, Sanchez. And it took her now, what, 18, the proverbial 18 months. She's been here about 18 months. And finally, she's starting to get a rhythm. And she's like, oh my God, you're right. I just needed time to grow into this. You know, and so be patient with yourself. It's going to take longer than you thought, guys. And it's going to be harder than you thought. But if you can accept that, then I guarantee that you will get there. And to just know this, right, is that look at this, look at the BNI Quadrant. If you want to know what a rare form of thinking this is in our current society, only 5% of people, based on statistics, actually get the BNI Quadrant. Only 5%. But how much wealth exists in the BNI Quadrant? Look at this. 95% of the wealth in that people are free comes from the BNI Quadrant, which is only 5% of people have that awareness of it. So don't feel bad. It's like, well, how come I don't know? Because we're part of that 95%. We don't know what we don't know. And so part of me using a platform, this is why I'm here. This is why we're on a Saturday morning and you guys are at your house and you're not watching, you know, CNN or whatever you're doing right now, is because you're learning, what do I need to change, Karlo, within myself so I can get my life to the next level, dude? This is it. We got to unplug from the matrix, folks. And the only way to do that is the free enterprise system. Working for yourself and doing something significant. You know, I'm talking philosophy right now, but there's some fact behind this. You know, so now when I put fact behind this, right? Well, we created some structure here. Run the system and the system runs your business, right? We have a different success system. Run this system to the T. And we took this, we didn't create this ourselves. We took it from other people. We took it from other enterprises that, is it the product? Is McDonald's product good? No, it's actually, if you look at it, it's shit. You know, it makes people sick. It's actually now, it's already proven in this health conscious world that we're living on. People are very like, dude, why are you eating this fake meat, this processed food? It's all garbage. It's not good for your body. But billions and billions serve daily because they have a system that works. That's it, guys. The McDonald's system is a tried and proven system. And if you want to understand, I'm not going to go into it. Watch The Founder. It's a great movie with Michael Keaton on the Ray Kroc story on how McDonald's was actually created. If you have not seen that movie yet, I encourage you to watch that movie as an entrepreneur so you could understand the entrepreneurial psychology and everything about what Ray Kroc had to endure to build McDonald's to what it is now and how he became successful. Is a great rags to riches story. And there's so much that the way he built McDonald's is exactly how different this has to be built. It's almost, it's the most complete. I'm like, wow, that's exactly how it's like. So you should watch that movie. It's almost like watching a documentary, but it's really good. But we have a system here for you guys, right? So this is that system that we spend a lot of time talking about. And I like to go backwards, right? Let's look at number 11 because we're all here for lifestyle. And every one of us have a different definition of lifestyle. Some of you want to live on a yacht and you want to, you know, you want to travel to Tahiti and you want to stay in one of those bungalows that is like $8,000 a night. And you want to be wealthy. And could I do that here? Yes. And some of you are like, Karlo, I just want an extra few $1,000 a month so that I can pay for my daughter's college, so that I can, you know, Go eat at my favorite restaurant 1 or 2 times a month. Awesome. Whatever you want really wants you. But you have to be clear on what that is for you. You know, so I'd like to ask you, I'm not saying you need to type this in, but this is something for you to reflect on. What do you want? Are you clear on that? Why, what it is that you're after? What are you trying to create? You know, what does more money mean to you? Because when people say, Carl, I want to make 6 figures, great. What does that mean? It means 6 figures, bro. You know, what does it mean though? Like, yes, if I put $100,000 on the table right here, cash, that's great. It's $100,000, but it's not the money. You don't really want 6 figures. What does the 6 figures mean to you? Oh, well, it means that I could, you know, my wife won't have to work anymore. And she could stay more, you know, she can stay with the kids longer. Okay. So it's not the money, dude. Focus on that. Focus on, I want my wife to stay at home. There's way much more emotional content and value in that. The money is just a representation of what you truly want. Because if there was no such thing as money, let's just take money. Let's say money never existed. There is no such thing as money. Then what is it? What type of life experience do you want? Like if you can do whatever you want to do, even if I could do whatever I wanted to do, I don't think I would be like, I want to go drive a bunch of sports cars. You know, like that's not really what I want to do, right? You know, for me, I want to go travel. I want to see like world destinations, right? And imagine if that was free. That's probably how I would be investing most of my time. But because we live in this society where we need these things called dollar bills with dead presidents on them in order to exchange that, to have those experiences, then that's what we have to do. So be clear on it for yourself. What does lifestyle mean? And then number 10, in order for you to have that lifestyle, this is where you got to get cash flow and savings. So in order to get cash flow and savings in our line of business, you have to make sales. You have to have customers. You have to have people that are consistently buying the services that you are rendering: life insurance policies, 401k rollovers, 403bs, final expense policies, helping small business owners, helping people put their kids in college, whatever it may be. You have to create a pipeline, a funnel of consistency so that you can do that. I don't care. Everyone's like, you know, everyone wants to know what the secret is, you know, to all this stuff. You know what it comes down to, guys? What do you need? You need customers. You need people to say, yes, I want that. Show me what $200 will be per month. Show me what $300 be per month. Show me if I roll this $100,000, or what does that mean? What are you going to do for me? And not only do you need customers, they need to be happy customers, right? So fortunately for us, through our system, we're constantly generating a pipeline of potential customers every single day, right? And in order for you to make sales, which leads to customers, you have to be licensed and appointed with different carriers. So for you to make sales and be licensed, you have to go through our field training program. Now, what does that entail? And so people that are doing that right now, Andrew Olea in Yuma. Andrew's got started in our business maybe 18 months ago. I might be screwing that up. And so he is a late bloomer in terms of running the system, because he did not start off doing anything. It took him a while to get licensed, both him and his soon-to-be wife. But once he got licensed, and I think it was for him as a young man, he's going to be married here in about 2 months. So he's like, I got to make it happen. So he had that incentive because he's about to be married, and he started running the system, and he started setting appointments, and now he's starting to do them on his own because he's like, wow, it does work. So there's hope for you if you've been like, Carlo, I've been here for a while, but I haven't done anything. Don't feel bad. I'm not here to tell you like you suck, right? Everyone's going to start at their own time, guys. So I've been doing this 15 years, and it took me almost 10 years to break over 6 figures. Okay. So trust me, it took me a long time. Now, I don't want it to take 10 years for you, but I want to push you to get out of your own way and go through the field training program, right? So with the exception of Isaac, and let me look at this, Isaac, Gail, you know, everyone else that's on here, I encourage you to really immerse yourself in step 7 here and get into the field training program. Well, what do I got to do that? Like, so what does the field training program mean? Well, that's what steps 1 through 6 are going to be. But make that a consistency as part of your week. Is like what I would tell you, if you want to have the awakenings that leads to lifestyle, is that you are setting up consistently on a weekly basis at least a minimum of 3 to 5 training appointments that you put potential prospects in front of me, in front of Isaac, in front of a Gail, people that know how to share the story pretty darn well that you can leverage. And we're here for you, right? The last thing we ever want someone to say is every time, you know, Julian Salgado, who's now works, he's an employee of home office. He called everybody, you know, I think some of you might have gotten a call from Julian in the home office who was like, hey, I'm part of, you know, the corporate office now. What could difference do to be better? And the biggest thing, the biggest feedback that he gave me, right, were people that quit, is that most people quit because they never got started. I'm like, well, what do you mean by that? He's like, they never went on the field, man. They never got any training experience. And that's so true. Like if you've been on the field, most people that quit difference with, and most people quit within the first 3 to 6 months. Most of them quit because they never went out in the field. You know, and you got to go out there consistently and get out in the field and get those experience, because the field is where the business goes from your head to your heart. The field is where you build the reflexes. The field is where you start to see, whoa, before and after dramatically. The field is where you see clients start crying. The field is where you see, you know, clients act funny. The field is where you see your leadership, how they close the business, how they ask the right questions. That stuff is the stuff that really makes millions here, right? That skill set. And I want to encourage all of you to be radical about training, like, and then detach yourself from the outcome. That's kind of a paradox, right? Set a bunch of appointments, but remain detached from the outcome. You might want to write that down. I should have told you guys this is some copious notes, right? Take notes on this stuff. Detach yourself from outcome, meaning set a bunch of appointments with an intention, like, I want to close all these, Karlo. I want to, all these 5 appointments I'm doing this week, I want to close them all. But be detached that you did all 5 appointments and everyone of them said, Jen, no, thank you, not interested. Be detached and be like, okay, cool. And move on to the next. Recover faster. Keep going. That's what 7 is going to teach you. Step 6, that's where we come in as the marketing directors, right? Myself, Gail, right? So I look in this call, myself, Gail, Isaac. We are marketing directors that can leverage you, right? So an example, if Jen's like, Karlo, can you meet this guy, Steve? He's a friend of mine. He's interested in the business. I already did a presentation for him. I'm just the lever, right? We call it leverage. You have to leverage your leadership. And so what I get to do, so for example, Elvia just brought on a gal by the name of Lisette in Yuma, Arizona. As soon as I got that number in the back office, I called Lisette and I spoke to her husband. So she recruited him on, I think it was Monday or Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I'm on the phone with the husband and I'm like, why are you here? Why did you join Difference? Tell me about you guys. We just want to welcome you to the family. And he was so positively taken by that. He was like, wow, that's cool. Like, man, you guys, I kind of feel that support. And it gave me an opportunity in that moment to be the lever for Elvia. And I said, so you guys are working with Elvia, huh? They're like, yeah, we met with her yesterday. She did her policies for us. And I was like, let me tell you something about that woman so you know who you're working with. She's phenomenal. Listen to what she tells you because she has your best interest at heart. We're here to support, but I promise you that you're in good hands. So we edify her. And so now when LVA comes back to talk to them, they're going to listen a little bit more closely because they realize that, you know what, the way that this company is talking about Elvia makes me want to listen to her more. That is something about, leveraging your leadership that is super important. And we're going to help you do that. We're also going to help you bring them on board. So that 99.99, if you get stuck there, we'll help you with that. I do that all the time. I'm doing it on Monday with Roxy, right? We're going to bring somebody on board. So just put them in front of us and we'll do the rest. And so questions have been asked. So Karlo, if you do that appointment and they come on board, is that your associate? No, that is your associate. That is your brokerage. That's your agency. We as leaders have a responsibility to help you succeed, because if you make money, only if you make money will we make more money. If you're not making money, we're not making money. So we have a vested interest in your success. And I really love that about our business. So we want to invest in you. So meet us halfway by saying, Karlo, I did the work by doing steps 1 through 3 or 4, and we'll take it from there for you. Okay. So what does that mean? So here's where you're responsible for, and this is the rubber that meets the road. And I'm going to end here because I know I'm almost out of time. But steps 1 through 3, right, and 4 too. I would say 1 through 4, but I would say especially 1 through 3 are the heartbeat of any entrepreneurial enterprise in the world. I just talked to you about you need customers, right? Well, that's what number 1 is. For the longest time in the first few years when I was in this business, I only focused on talking to people who I felt comfortable would know me enough to listen to me. Does that make sense? We like to talk to people that like us already or that are comfortable with us. It's a terrible strategy to build a business, by the way, right? Don't be careful you don't get stuck in popularity contests. For me to go outside of that scope to start talking to strangers and building relationships with strangers was totally out of my comfort zone. But that's what I had to do. And I started doing it with intention, meaning that I remember I was like, I am not going home this week until I get 100 prospects, until I get 100 new names and numbers. I'm not gonna, if I gotta work 7 days this week. And I remember that intention, because I never had it before, was so important. I started going to networking meetings. I started prospecting people on Facebook. Every conversation had an intention. Now, what started happening is some of those people would kind of smell me and be like, whoa, what does this dude after? What does he want from me? You have to be willing to embrace that. You have to be willing for someone to look at you and say, Jen, I can feel like you're trying to sell me something. And be able to embrace, when you look at their body language, that they think that you're kind of a scumbag because you're like trying to sell them something. They don't know what they don't know, guys. They don't know that you have the keys to the kingdom, right? They don't know that you have the financial cure for cancer. They just see you as another salesperson. And that might be hard for your ego to take in that moment, for someone to look down on you and thinking that you're just a scummy salesperson. You have to be willing to embrace that, because that's how you rid yourself of not just the opinion of other people, but of the good opinion of other people. Free yourself from that, because you cannot pay your bills or build your enterprise, build your life through other people's opinions. You'll become imprisoned by them. Be careful with that. So free yourself from that. Say, dude, I'm just going for it, man. Right? What's the worst that they can tell you? The worst thing that could ever happen to you is this 2-letter word, no. That's it. When you really put that on the magnifying glass, and if you were to put yourself in the future and say you're 90 years old, and you were to say, why do you not accomplish and become the person that you wanted to be? Why didn't you accomplish your goals and dreams? Because I was scared. At the end of the day, I was scared of these 2 little words, 2 little letters, N-O. Come on, man, we're bigger than that. If we really put that, it doesn't carry a lot of weight when you meditate on it. So go for it. Start a top 100 list. Go out there and get as many names and numbers, and your chicken list too. The people that you think Stop putting the people, like, stop talking to people that are easy for you to talk to. They're a lower level identity. Talk to high identity people, right? If you know doctors, put them on your list. If you know lawyers, if you know people that are like, man, this person's already making a lot of money, put them on your list. And you would be amazed at our business is actually more catered to that people that have more money. And this is why you work on your identity, because a lot of you are not talking to those people because you don't feel that you are valuable enough to teach them something that they don't know. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. You're going to know what you know, right? I love this saying. You're going to know what you know, but you'll know who knows what you don't know. And that's all you need to know. Know what you know who knows what you don't know. And that's all you need to know, guys. You have resources. You are General Patton here, right? You have an army behind you of skilled snipers at your beck and call. The person on our team that does that better than anybody is Gail Young. Gail she starts the relationship. Hi, Jen, nice to meet you. My name's Gail. What do you do? Oh, great. Oh, you run a business? That's fantastic. I'm going to introduce you to my partner, Karlo. He works with people like you. I think you guys would get along great. And that leads to a $200,000 rollover. She makes $5,000 for just making an introduction. That, my friends, is how the game is done, right? She's the best at it. You know, and I tell her, Gail, just do that, bud. You're so good at it. But you have to have a prospecting list, right? You know, and so some of you don't stop. It's prospecting is an all the time thing. So why I'm beating this to a dead horse, you're like, Karlo, you're telling me something I've heard already, but are you doing it? Just because I'm telling you a billion times. When's the last time that you filled out a top 25 list, folks? When's the last time you actually added 3 names and numbers to a list, to a database that you're actually tracking? And I know for a fact that you haven't. Because this is why you have no business, right? A business with no prospects is dead. I don't care how great the products are. I just told you about McDonald's. Their products suck, but they got customers. And we have products that change lives. But what's the point of having the financial cure for cancer, but yet you can't get in front of anybody? I hope this is making sense. Now that you have the name and number, well, this is number 2. What do I got to do? Karlo, I got all these names and numbers. Great. Call them. But what do I say? And we have the scripts for that, the help me script, the invitation script, the 3 good quality script. I have a webinar full of that content. It's in the back office of Difference, DFISdream.com. I believe it's on my YouTube channel. I believe we posted it before, the words of our business, right? You have to make contact. So number 1 is have people to talk to. Step 2 is talk to them. You know, when I talk to them, what's my outcome of talking to them? Just simply set an appointment. And when you set that appointment, it's not to recruit them, it's not to sell them, it's just to share our message. And once you share the story, which is number 3, then we follow up. Now, follow up might take a week, might take a day, might take a month, might even take a year. I have a client that's about to meet my client this Tuesday. I first sat with him in 2015. And you know what he told me then? No, thank you, not interested. And now 2019, he finds me through, because we're friends on Facebook. I'm ready to do something 4 years later. And that's leading to a $500 IUL on Tuesday. So I'm saying inevitably they will come back, right? That's just the way the business goes, right? So there's 2 reasons, right? And write this down. There's 2 reasons why people are not going to do business with you right now, right? Number 1, and this is always the number 1 reason, timing. The timing was just right. They just got out of a relationship. They're going through a divorce. They're going through some personal issues. They're going through some financial issues that are overwhelming. They're going through life, guys, right? Be patient with that. So the timing, that's the number one reason why people don't move forward with you. So be willing to accept that and be patient with it. And the number two reason is that they did not understand what you're saying. They did not get what your intention is because there's no clarity. What are you trying to do, Jen? Are you trying to recruit me? I mean, are you trying to sell me? Like, well, what is this? What are we doing here? All right. You have to be able to be clear as to what you're trying to do and cater your message to the individual. They didn't understand, right? And I could even add a third. We can put an asterisk on the number third reason why people don't get started is they were never asked. You would be amazed at how much more sales you would do is, if I can help you save money, would you take advantage of that? Yeah. And that's where I love about the business, because some of you that are going to start getting clients, you're going to be like, holy shit, I could have got that client like years ago. Well, why are they your client now? What happened? I just asked. Like I see them every day. So what happened? That's awesome. You did a $300,000 rollover with them? How do you know this person? Dude, I know them very well. They're a close friend. So what happened? I just asked. Hello, ding, 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 right? You see what I'm saying? Just ask, guys. And so this is I follow this I wish it could be a little bit more, complex, right? I wish I could tell you, like, when I'm sharing these steps with you, people say, but it can't be that easy. No way it's just that easy. Just, you mean put names on a list and then you call them and you say these stupid scripts and then you sit in front of them, whether through webinar on a Zoom call or in person at Starbucks or the office. And then they say, okay, call me next week. And then I call them number 4, I follow up with them and then they want to move forward. Like, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I wish I can be like, dude, honestly, it's my educational affluence that really gets people. No, it's this, that's it. I wish I can blow your guys' mind and be like, wow, this is so cool. It's actually like, no way, it's that easy. It's that easy. But the reason it is how come people, if it's that easy, how come people don't do it? Identity. That's why people don't do it. I don't believe in myself, Karlo. I'm struggling with my own limitations and lack. I don't. Why should I? Why would these people listen to me? Like, what the hell do I know? I don't deserve it. That's why we have to work on identity, because a lot of people feel undeserving, low self-esteem, right? Low self-worth. We got to work on that, because you are the bringer of good. And you, yes, you, my friends on this call, and wrapping this up, you deserve the very best that life has to offer. Don't ever get that misunderstood. This is your birthright as a human being. I'm not trying to go, Republican on you here, but I'm telling you, we live in the greatest country. We're very fortunate to be here. Many of your families have sacrificed a lot to even give you the shot you have now. And this is our opportunity to give thanks to that and take advantage of opportunity. We have opportunity, guys. You have a flipping shot here. That's all. That's the best thing that you can have in this life, is just a shot. And you have it. Go for it. The world is your oyster. Whatever you want is yours if you simply are willing to claim it. Oops, let me go back here. You with me? I wish I could, I wish I could tell you, today I was like, I thought about, let me create new presentation, new slides, because that was my thought yesterday. I was like, oh, my wife's like, are you cool? I was like, oh, I got to create new slides. I got to create new information so I can inspire the troops. And I started that last night. And then, this morning I kind of just like, you know what? The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Repetition is the mother of all skill. And if I have to tattoo this on your conscience, that you know that this is possible, that you know that this is simple, that you can do this and you can become who you want to be here. We want to empower you. J-Lo, Lisa, Natalie, Salcido, whoever else is on here, I can't see, right? Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. May, I got your back, bro. All you got, I want you to know that, right? Am I perfect? Hell no. I got issues I'm dealing with myself, right? Don't put me on no pedestal. But I'm here for you. And I got your back. And if it means me waking up earlier or staying up later to help you, I promise you and I commit to you that I will help you and do everything that I can within my power to help you achieve your goals and dreams here. That means something to me here. And you know why? Because damn it, someone did it for me and they didn't have to. And that's the least I can do is pay that forward. And when you get there, the least you can do is pay it forward to someone else too. That's the beauty of the human condition. That's why we're here. So, did you guys get something from this? What did you get from it? Sometimes so you're talking for an hour, you know, I'm talking for an hour and a half at a screen. I'm wondering I would be surprised. I come out like, oh shit, everybody's gone. Everybody logged off. But I just want to share my heart with you guys, man. And I appreciate that, you know, for me to have your attention. And I don't take it lightly. I get emotional. Because this is what life is all about, guys. You know, this is what we're here for, is to help each other, to be there for each other. And it's just, I'm so grateful that we can do something that fucking means something, man. That we can become better human beings and that we can make a difference for all of us, for all our families. And I want you to know that it's possible. Like, shit, man, it's possible, man. It's possible. None of us are, no, we all have a shot here. Just keep at it. And doesn't matter where you're at, you can start over. That's the beauty of failure. Try again. You'll get it. I believe in each and every one of you. And we got to get better as leaders too. Trust me. Home office, we're all pushing each other. Like, we got to get better so that we can help you guys get better. You know, you guys are the reason why I wake up in the morning. Along with those two beautiful girls that I raised and that beautiful wife I have, the rest of my life is dedicated towards you. And that means something to me. You know, so, and I want you to also be that way for other people. That's how we're going to make a dent in this game called life. So, 7 minutes left. Anybody want to share what they got? Any breakthroughs, any epiphanies?
I love this type of content, man. Always it's the basics, but at the end of the day, it's what we focus on every day. You know, and making sure we contact people and following up with people and making I feel personally that was something that would motivate me. When I didn't know anything, I just knew that if I could put a name and a number down, that meant something, you know, and it meant progress. So I love this training. I love your vulnerability. Thank you so much, man, for being who you are.
Takes one to know one, my brother. All right. I love you too, bro. You know that. Thank you. All right, man. Who else? Anybody else? Don't make me pick on some of y'all. Just because I want to continue to get to know her more. That's Miss Elisa Campbell. What'd you get from this, buddy?
It's very, very inspiring to me. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Loud and clear.
Very inspiring, very real, very raw. You know, with my family situation, it really takes it home.
Yeah. I feel you, buddy. And that's why you're here. And I'm excited to do that with you. I'm excited to build this with you. And we're just about there, man. We're getting started. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And JLo, because you're on camera, but I appreciate JLo's the only one that's courageous enough to say, I'm gonna be on camera. I'm gonna show myself. We fucking love you, buddy. You know. What'd you get? Can you get on mic? Let's see. I think you have to unmute yourself. I don't know if you know how to do that. There you go. You there?
Well, I wrote what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
When you're getting emotional about helping us and then helping people in general, it just makes me feel like I'm in the right place. So I appreciate that.
That's right, bud. Well, I appreciate that. You know, and I know, like, I see you on payroll this month, man. I see things happening for you, which is exciting. You know, you're helping people, so good on you, man. Keep it up. And we're grateful to have you here, Jen. We really are. You are gonna make a dent, my friend, no doubt. There's something about you that we see. You know, us guys, man, we talk about you all the time. There's just something about you, man, that I just feel people are going to be gifted by. So I can't wait to witness it. All right, well, thank you. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Well, we're pretty much out of time, 9:30 to 11. Well, guys, I appreciate you. Hope that this is a good foundation for you to get started. Right, much love. Just a few things, just a few announcements. Obviously, Monday we'll be back at 7 o'clock. Friday, October 25th. I know we mentioned this already. From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we're going to be doing a nice train the trainer. It's going to be hardcore sales, right? Process on how to get results, right? And with that system I just shared with you, how do I close? How do I close an appointment? How do I close a prospect? How do I close a sale? How do I gather information? Those staples that you got to know. We're going to be going over that at the office in Little Italy. Yes, right? So 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm going to get lunch, right? Actually, Isaac's going to get lunch. You don't know this yet, but Isaac, you got pizza, dog. We'll figure something out. We'll bring some food in, and it'll be good from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, so Friday, October 25th. So have that on your calendar. For those of you that have jobs, maybe like Thursday the 24th, you start developing some sort of thing in your chest, you know, you get feeling a little sick. So you got to call in Friday morning, right? So you can be there. Okay, so just know that. And you know, we have the contest that's going on. I know are you guys all getting the emails from home office about the contest, the Puerto Vallarta contest? So for those of you that go get 15 direct associates between now and January 31st, September 1st, and January 31st, you get to get a ticket to Puerto Vallarta. Or if you write 40,000 personal points, right, then you also going to get a go. So do you guys want me to show you? Like, do I need to write that out for you so you understand what that means? Let me know, right? Because I think the email did a good job. But if you're like, I'm confused on the target, what I got to do to hit that, let me know. I can show you really quick. It's pretty simple. Okay. But we want to finally have a company trip where it's not just 1 or 2 people, right? So this is going to be fun, and this is very accessible to everybody if you get after it. All you really need is like 3 clients a month to 5 clients a month, saving a few $100. That's really possible if you're running the system. Okay. So good. Nobody said anything, so I'm assuming you guys all get it. If you're confused, let me know, and I'll help you with that. Okay. With that being said, peace and love. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next week, guys. Peace.